Girlfriend, 26F, cheated on me, 26M, early in our relationship, didn't bother me as much as it does now. I've been dating my girlfriend now for nearly 5 years. Before we dated, we were friends for a bit. I had a massive crush on her and finally managed to make it happen when we were around 21. Things were going so great early on, we had so much chemistry and I fell for her. The issue was prior to dating her I had a bit of a porn addiction and I believe it was affecting my sexual performance. My ability to have and sustain an erection was pretty inconsistent, but she always comforted me that she was okay with it. About a year into our relationship I did the very immature move of looking through her phone. Maybe I shouldn't have done it, but I found pretty irrefutable evidence she was cheating on me. I also found conversations with her best friend, F26, 22 at the time, where she heavily encouraged my girlfriend to cheat. My girlfriend's justifications in those messages were that she truly did love me but had needs and needed to be satisfied, which I couldn't consistently do. She vocalized this both to her best friend and the other guy. I was hurt, but my porn-addicted brain was a little turned on by it. I stayed with her because I kind of was fetishizing the situation and justified it to myself that she still loved me. Seeing the messages describe how much she enjoyed it hurt but also turned me on, so I never confronted her about it. Ironically, this led to much better sexual performance with her, which eventually led to me being able to quit porn a significant amount. Later messages I've seen seems to confirm she eventually stopped hooking up with the other guy, and she at least has been saying to her best friend that she has stayed loyal. I feel like now that I'm older and not as porn addicted, the pain of what happened really has started to sink in these last few years. I do think she really loves me. She was young and very sex positive. I don't think she wanted to hurt me, but clearly wasn't sexual. Confession 2. I exposed my ex for monkey branching me. So me and my ex, both 23, broke up a month ago. When she broke up with me, she didn't point any fingers, didn't blame anybody, just said we are two different people, and she was still fucked up over her ex-husband that she divorced a year and a half ago, and we have been together for a year. She said she felt like she could never fully open up to me, which I never understood what she meant by that, as she told me a lot of her trauma from the past. She said all the right things to let me down easy. So I started packing my things. She went downstairs and had a party with her friends while I'm upstairs crying my eyes out because we were supposed to spend our first Christmas together, and I meet her family. Completely blindsided. As I'm packing my things I see her iPad, so I started doing some digging while she's having a blast downstairs. I look through her DMs and it's to her best friend. What I found made me want to vomit. She was sharing screenshots of one of our co-workers and telling her how hot she thinks he is and saying so many disgusting things. I felt my heart sink that she was ready to jump into the bed of someone else so quickly. She never did anything physically, that's cheating, but it was her intent after we broke up. I was so fucking shattered by this. I was in denial about the whole thing for weeks. And all I kept thinking about was, well, he is a fuck boy. When she realizes it, she will take me back. I was tired of thinking I could just win her back or some stupid, so I had to make sure there was no room for redemption. I fought and fought with these pathetic feelings until I self-harmed really bad, to a point I didn't come into work. After that I looked at my arm in disgust and decided to tell her co-workers what she did to me. God, I hated that did that, and everyone keeps validating me for telling the truth, but I just feel so stupid for letting this get to me. I tried confronting her twice about cheating, but she just kept lying even though I knew the answer. I just wanted her to say it. So yeah, I told people to hurt her, and I feel so disappointed in myself for not being the bigger person and not doing that. For being in an emotional roller coaster for a month now, and I can escape this nightmare. Confession 3. My fiance's friend, 27F, put our 26M, 27F engagement at stake through a drunken confession from their past. What can I do from here? Burner account. For context, I won't be using real names because they are active Reddit users and I'm seeking advice. This happened last night. I took the time to try to process, but now I'm here. I, 26M, am engaged to my fiancée Sasha, 27F. We have a pretty standard relationship, ups and downs and our occasional arguments that get resolved. We are due to get married in the following month, but after what I found out, I don't know if I even want to continue on. Her friend Taylor, 27F, is married to her husband Mike, 28M. Mike is supposed to be the best man at our wedding and Taylor the maid of honor. We usually hang out every other weekend. We may go out or we might stay in and just watch movies and have a few drinks. But this particular day wasn't like any other where I have gotten the shock of a lifetime. I usually nighttime drinking is pretty normal, a few mixed drinks, a few shots, but this time in particular Taylor had a few drinks too many. In front of her own husband, she starts to straddle me and kiss me. I pulled back and told her not to do that. Her husband Mike had a look of absolute disbelief because of what she was doing. Taylor then proceeded to tell me she's just trying to initiate a threesome between me and my fiancée Sasha. I looked confused and Sasha didn't say anything or attempt to stop her. I asked her why is she trying to initiate a threesome. Taylor said, Sasha said she wants to give you a threesome, so I'm initiating it. Sasha still hasn't spoken up, she was letting it happen. Mike was frozen, still watching in disbelief. I asked Taylor why when she's married would she try to initiate a threesome with me and my fiancé. Taylor, without skipping a beat, blurts out that her and Sasha had already given Mike a threesome before they got married. As soon as that came out of her mouth, the room fell silent. What followed after was Mike looking down, trying to avoid eye contact with me, Sasha having a look of horror on her face, me looking like I saw a ghost, and Taylor still having the same blank expression like she didn't just expose the biggest secret that I'm certain I was never supposed to know. After some time, Sasha rushed Mike and Taylor out of our apartment and started trying to explain everything. I know I should have stopped and listened to what she had to say, but instead I brushed her off and went to stay at a friend's for the night. I have been getting spam calls and texts from Sasha and Taylor telling me I was never supposed to know, but my reaction was uncalled for. Mike isn't talking to Taylor either as far as I know because of her actions towards me that night. I personally don't want to talk to any of them for right now. I'm contemplating on what the next step should be because this is a lot to be thrown at me.